She was called a monster, a freak, a woman without a soul. But before she ever harmed anyone, she was abandoned, violated, silenced. Aileen Wuornos is not just the story of a criminal. It's the story of a woman shattered since childhood, who eventually mirrored back the pain the world gave her. Today we step into the mind of one of the few women behind a series of violent crimes in modern history, and explore how trauma, instability, and desperation spiraled into something tragic. Her story begins long before any crime was committed, and what we find is a portrait of extreme neglect. Born in 1956 in Rochester, Michigan, her mother left when she was only 4 years old. Her father passed away in prison. He had a severe mental illness and a record of disturbing behavior. She was raised by grandparents struggling with alcohol, and that's where the mistreatment began. By age 11, Aileen was already exchanging favors for food, cigarettes, and a place to sleep. At 14, she suffered a traumatic assault and became pregnant. The baby was placed for adoption. Shortly after, she was forced out of the house and began living on the streets. Her mind wasn't shaped for harm. It was broken by it. For years, Aileen survived in the margins. She lived in wooded areas, worked along highways, used substances to cope, and had multiple arrests for theft and altercations. She showed signs of severe emotional and psychological distress, paranoia, unpredictable anger, erratic behavior. She spent time in psychiatric facilities but never received long-term care. She eventually formed an intense bond with a woman named Tyria Moore, who became her only emotional anchor. To Aileen, Tyria was the one reason to keep going. This unhealthy, codependent relationship became the emotional trigger for what came next. Between 1989 and 1990, 7 men lost their lives in Florida, each killed at close range. They were found in remote areas, often without clothing or partially dressed. Aileen Wuornos confessed to the acts. She claimed it was always in self-defense, that she had been under threat each time. But the evidence suggested something more complex. Some of the men had criminal pasts. Others appeared to pose no immediate danger. The pattern revealed rage, not just survival. She wasn't driven by pleasure or calculation. But she also couldn't stop. Violence, for her, became a release, a symbolic retaliation against those who had hurt her throughout her life. Aileen was arrested in 1991 after Tyria cooperated with the investigation. During questioning, she shifted between cold detachment and emotional outbursts. She confessed with chilling calm, then broke down, then contradicted herself. She voiced fears of being controlled by unseen forces and conspiracies. Psychological evaluations later diagnosed her with borderline personality disorder, with signs of paranoia and psychotic features. Yes, she was unstable, but she understood her actions. In court, Aileen accepted full responsibility. She even requested the harshest sentence, saying she wanted it all to end. Aileen Wuornos was executed by lethal injection on October 9, 2002. Before her death, she said, "I'll be back." Like a spaceship at the end of times. Her life has since been portrayed in books, documentaries, and the award-winning film Monster 2003, starring Charlize Theron. Today, her story raises difficult but important questions. Where is the line between victim and perpetrator? How far can untreated trauma push a person? What happens when vulnerable minds are ignored by the system? Aileen wasn't born violent. She was shaped by years of neglect, pain, and abandonment. The mind of Aileen Wuornos is a war zone between suffering, instability, and retaliation. A brutal reminder that not every so-called monster chooses to become one. Some are shaped by the absence of love. If this story unsettled you, just wait for what's coming next.